Strode and welcome to Straightforward. Today I have the awesome staff from the Muscogee County Sheriff's Office. Welcome John Darr and the Chaplin.
Hey, good
you
afternoon.
all work all the time, 24/7, 365 days a year. But in addition to what you do to keep the community safe, you're out in the community doing fun things with children and families. My just most impressive thing that I'm just so impressed with what you do is the Rising Stars. So recently you've had something with the Rising Stars, and I'd like for you to share with the audience what that is and how kids get involved with that.
Yes, ma'am. What the Rising Star was, it was a way for the Muscogee County Sheriff's Office and myself to recognize young people in our community, and we recognize someone from the elementary, the middle school, and the high school age groups. And like I said, it was just nothing more than a way to recognize these young people in our community that are being good role models, good citizens, good students, good peers, good mentors for their fellow students. And we got a lot of support from a lot of the businesses that were able to give them some gift certificates and some other monetary type of things to show them the appreciation we have. And we get a lot of response. I always try to tell people, and you don't have to come, all the nominations doesn't have to come from the school systems. We get them from churches, we get them from Boy Scouts, Girls Inc., and of course the school systems.
So anyone, whether it's a community-based or someone in the school system or faith-based to church.
Yes, ma'am.
They can say, we have these awesome young people. I'd like to recommend this person to be considered for a Rising Star.
Yes, ma'am. That's
right.
right.
So they get rewarded for good behavior.
Yeah.
And good citizenship.
Yeah, and that's what it is. I mean, they have to fill out kind of a little form and kind of what is it that kind of setting them apart from their other peers. And we do it about 3 times a year, and it's really awesome.
So
we get
elementary, middle school, and high school.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so for everybody that's watching, and you know how grandparents are, I'm a grandparent.
That's it.
Everybody think their grandchildren are wonderful. They can start working that campaign
yes, ma'am,
now.
They sure are.
And it doesn't matter about the age.
No,
as
ma'am.
long as they are a student,
yes,
then they can be thrown into the pool.
That's it.
And then you all look at it objectively.
Well, what we do is, like I said, we have a lot of the businesses that support that, and then we kind of collect in the nominations, and then we kind of take them to some of the businesses that sponsor the event.
Okay.
And we let them pick the winners out of it.
So you can't get a grandmother like me saying, "Oh, it was favoritism. They picked Chelsea Moon's cousin instead of my grandchild."
Well, that's what we're trying to. We're trying to keep it impartial.
I know. Well, I think that's really awesome. And then you have other events going on through the year. And I think earlier in the year you had something with children with autism.
Yeah. What this is we think as the Sheriff's Office that we should be actively engaged and involved in the community. So we do a lot of different things. Chaplain Richardson's here. We do a lot of things involved at the county jail. And so what that is we've been very fortunate that we've been able to reach out to different organizations. And one of them is the autism organization that we support at events of showing up. We do Project Lifesaver that's real active with the autism community.
Okay, and what is that? Explain that, because a lot of our viewers might not be familiar with Project Lifesaver.
Yeah, and even after I do this, if they have any questions, please feel free to call the Sheriff's Office. We'll probably be able to go a little bit more in depth. And all that is Project Lifesaver is a tracking way that children or what we call it, youths that are at risk to wander off.
Okay.
And it can be for young people, and it could be for older people with Alzheimer's.
Okay,
it
so
really
Alzheimer's.
Could.
So it
really
works
could.
for the children with special needs and then adults that might have memory issues.
It sure could. And anybody you think you feel for that's going to wander off. And it's nothing more than it looks kind of like a plastic-like watch, and that's the tracking system. And like I said, Project Lifesaver is nothing more than a way, if they do wander off, that we're able to track that individual using that tracking device that's on them.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people, I know we've just celebrated so many things, and Alzheimer's month was in September, and we know a lot of folks that have had that touch their families as well. But we have a lot of children with that's autistic. And the autism, it's kind of on a broad spectrum. Some that really function really well, and some that, might be a little more severe. So you have that. device.
Yeah, we're fortunate. You know, I think as far as I think the Columbus Police Department is involved in that too. They have some, the Russell County Sheriff's Office, the Harris County Sheriff's Office, and we're very fortunate in this area that you have a lot of buy-in from the local law enforcement, from the surrounding areas, because the more people that are involved in it, wherever they wander off to, it's easier to find that individual when you have more people involved.
Right, and because I know, you know, most people are familiar with the Amber Alerts, but then we have an alert when we have seniors, people that walk off, and I've seen quite a bit of that. And for those of us that had older parents, of course, my father has moved on from work to reward, but I thank God he never had the Alzheimer's. But I do know some people from my old neighborhood that had it. And so it's just a lot to try to manage.
It is.
Them, to keep them, especially at night. You know, they want to get up and wander.
And it is. And I think it's almost like a peace of mind, you know. It's another tool to use and give some people, either parents or the caregivers, peace of mind that they know if something does happen that we have a very good, successful rate of potentially being able to find
Right,
them.
it's a safety net.
And we've used it, and it works phenomenal. It really does. And I guess we could almost say, unfortunately, we've been able to use it, but it's worked out really well.
Well, I'm excited. I mean, it's so much that you all are doing other than just keeping us safe and taking care of things down at the jail. But what we're going to do now, we're going to take a break, go to our sponsors, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors. Straightforward is brought to you by Chalk by Quincy, introduces Excellence Redefined, timepieces of the finest technology, luxury, and class, with tons of style at chalklifestyle.com. Renal Associates, LLC, a team of physicians dedicated to excellent kidney care with 5 convenient locations to serve you: Stark Avenue, Columbus; Bradley Park, Columbus; Lafayette Parkway, LaGrange; East Burkhalter Avenue, Buena Vista; and Springs Street in Warm Springs.
Hi, I'm Bo Pelini. Please join the fight to put an end to homelessness among our military vets.
You can find them on a street corner, in a homeless shelter. Veterans who served America in her time of need. Now, they need your help. The Letter Winners Challenge is dedicated to ending homelessness among our veterans.
Even one homeless vet is one too many for me.
To learn how you can help, log on to thehomelessvetsproject.org.
By facing our mental and substance use disorders, recovery begins, and we are empowered to speak our truth. Join the Voices for Recovery. Speak up. Reach out.
For information on mental and substance use disorders, including prevention and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
History is important because it shows where you're coming from and where you're going. Type 2 diabetes is something that runs in my family, which means I'm at risk. In fact, 1 in 3 American adults are at risk for developing type 2 diabetes. And knowing this, if I do nothing, that family history becomes my family's future. And my family is too important to me for that. Take the risk factor assessment today at AskScreenKnow.com.
We do it for the burn.
Hi, I'm Pastor Quinn, Senior Pastor of New Destiny Church.
And I'm Lady Denitra Hartnett, and we would like to invite you out to worship with us at New Destiny Church, where we do it for the vine.
Welcome back to Straightforward. I'm continuing my conversation with Sheriff John Darr and Chaplain Neil Richardson. Well, you're doing a lot for the kids. You do a lot for the parents, those that might be visiting with you. But you have this awesome project. You're working with Girl Scouts. Chaplain, can you share something about that?
Last spring, we hooked up with the local Girl Scout Council, and it's turned into a 2-phase program. First is Girl Scouts do a wonderful job of teaching young girls networking, success, independence, and life skills.
And good self-esteem.
Exactly. And so that package, they're teaching our ladies in the jail.
Really?
So they're doing self-esteem classes, they're doing I'm worthy, I'm good, I'm capable. And so they're using the same techniques that they're teaching Girl Scouts with our young ladies in our dorms.
Really?
And it's been really positive. There's been a lot of good feedback that's come out of it from the women that were in there. And then the new program that we're just kicking off is to get the daughters of some of our inmates enrolled in a local Girl Scout troop, whether it's Daisy all the way through Scouting at 18.
Really?
And so the daughters will hook up with the troop that's closest to them and start participating. And then once a month, we'll have in a sense, a Girl Scout conclave, if you will, in the jail. And we'll let the mother and her daughter be supervised by and run a Girl Scout meeting with the leadership from the local Girl Scouts organization. And so the goal is the daughter gets involved in scouting, the mother gets involved in scouting, and then when mom gets out of jail, she can slide easily into the local troop. And now there's a support system that's a whole new group of people with positive role modeling going on. So we think that...
And good community involvement.
Exactly.
Because a lot of times people want to do better, but they just don't know how to go about being a part of things like that. Because often their self-esteem is low, and they don't think that they can really be a part of that. So you are working while they're still at your facility with helping to integrate them back into the community.
Exactly.
Wow.
And we think the daughters will introduce mom to, here, meet my two new friends.
Yes.
Or here's our scout troop leader. And so now she'll get to meet, like you said, new people and have better role modeling. And we think in addition to mom not coming back as rapidly, the daughter may never appear.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah, and so you're changing lives and generations.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's exactly what we want. So is this a cost or is it minimal? Because I think it's worth it. You know, I'm an old social worker. Either fix it on the front end or you fix it on the back end, but you will fix it. So are we having to pay millions of dollars for this, or it's just something just minimal?
The Girl Scouts pay the registration fees for the girls that are joining. The self-esteem classes they're putting on for free, and they're sending their staff in to do the work in the jail.
Okay.
And I think...
so it's not costing you anything but time and space. If you can let them come in at a certain time and bring these, it's not costing the taxpayers a dime, but it's changing lives and generations. Well, whose brainchild is that? I mean, that's brilliant. I mean, this is something that should be copied all over.
Well, we agree with a lot of the things that we're doing at the jail with the chaplain, that it should be duplicated in a lot of jails.
Yes.
But of
that's
course,
the best practice.
Well, I can only speak and do for Muscogee County. But of course, we're very fortunate that we got Chaplain Richardson that's truly dedicated to doing the right thing. And as the sheriff's office, we are. And I do agree with you. I mean, there's a lot of things that you would like to see other jails and sheriff's offices do, but you can't impose your will on them.
No, but I think it's the best practice. And I know in my old days at DFACS, they used to have this quarterly letter, and whatever county had the best practice, you know, your team, you try to rush to put that in there. So I think we really need to promote that. We need to get a lot of pictures and things like that. Of course, you know, people have to sign the waiver for the kids. But I think it's worth repeating in other places. And for those of us that have worked with people in the prison system, we know that you really have to work with the entire family if you want to make a change.
That's it.
Even losing weight. You know, I can't hang out with John Darr if he's going to eat French fries every day. I have to change. I have to change my circle and hang out with some people maybe having a salad sometimes. So that's the same thing as, you know, others when they're leaving prison and going back into the community. Well, you got other great things going on down at the jail. You know, my biggest love is the GED and the guys that I met when I came to visit with you. How is that going?
We crossed over 100 graduates this fall.
Really?
Since we started the GED program in the jail, over 100 men and women have received their high school diploma while incarcerated in the Muscogee County Jail.
And why didn't we have some big party and... We didn't have the money. We didn't have the money. No, that's worth celebrating because the GED is not an easy test.
No, ma'am.
It has been revamped, and what it was 15 years ago is not what it is now. They have calculus and
Trigonometry.
Trig, and I mean, it is really a difficult test.
Yes, ma'am.
So to have 100 inmates to get the GED, we should have been throwing a party in front of the jail.
Well, Chaplin Richardson and us, that's one of our initial programs we started. We put a lot of emphasis, and he does a tremendous job with that. And you're right, that, you know, I almost wanted to make the joke that I would compare that number. I would love to compare that number to any jail in the state of Georgia and see who's doing that. And,
Me too.
I saw one from another sheriff's office, and I think they had 9. And I thought, well, I mean, I guess that's better than none, but that's a phenomenal
That's worth
number.
celebrating.
Oh, yeah.
Because now you've changed 100 families. And your best story, and you've shared this with me, and I get so excited, and I know you are a social worker at heart, was the reading program, where the person could not read, but he was able to come out and take his child to the library, because you have the library people coming there.
That's right.
Do we still have that going on?
Yes, in our fatherhood dorm, we're still teaching men how to teach their children to read. Using a picture book allows a person that can't read to read. And that's not only the child, but the parent.
Yes.
And so you get the opportunity to experience, it's free, time with your child. You know, both of these programs, the reading program and the Girl Scout program and the fatherhood program, this is all designed to break the generational cycle. You know, we've got people in our jail that are 6th generation. I work with men and women in the jail that have been here for long enough that they've seen the great-grandfather, and now they're seeing the great-great-grandson. And so when somebody gets involved in doing the right thing with their child, first of all, you're not hanging with the wrong people. Second of all, you're providing your child a role model. When a guy comes home or a woman comes home to her family and his family and says, I have my high school diploma now.
That's awesome.
Try to be their child and not get one. They're not going to let their children have to do it that way.
Oh, no.
You're going to finish school.
Absolutely. And then they have a whole new sense of self. You know, it's a new pride and that kind of thing. And I worked with the federal education grant at the Calhoun State Prison. And so every time there was a GED program or something like that, I mean, it was to be celebrated. Because those of us that have been in the trenches, we know that's changing lives of the entire family.
And the bottom line is 2/3 of the people that walk through our back door are coming back. We know that.
Yeah.
Except in the GED and the fatherhood and these programs that we're talking about here today, the women that are in that program dorm that are getting the Girl Scouts are coming back less than 35%.
See, and
that's double.
Exactly. And so you are changing lives and families. Well, what we're going to do now, Sheriff and Chaplain, we're going to take our final break, go to our sponsors, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors. Straightforward is brought to you by Warrior Outreach. Contact Command Sergeant Major Retired Sam Rhodes or Kathy Rhodes. Freedom Printing for all of your designer printing needs. Gunboat Plaza, Suite 18. Progressive Funeral Home, family owned and operated since 1952. The George Ford legacy of high standards continues today in the compassionate and professional services provided. A touch of dignity for those who care. Progressive Funeral Home, 4235 St. Mary's Road, trusted by generations.
Hi, I'm Michael DeQuier, band director here at Albany State University. As you may or may not know, our marching band has been invited to the 2016 Tournament of Roses Parade. And with me is the Tournament of Roses Parade president, Mr. Mike Matheson.
Michael, it's been great to meet the band and the community and to drum up the support that your band's going to need to come to Pasadena.
Thank you very much, Mike. Well, to get there, we need your help. And you can help by visiting our website or calling the ASU Foundation. We will be in Pasadena, California, January 2016. Thank you very much.
I'm Drew Brees, and being a dad means the world to me. And one of the most important things any parent can do is make sure their kids get active at least 60 minutes each day. Studies show that physical activity not only helps kids stay healthy, it can enhance important skills like concentration and problem solving, which can improve academic performance. This means physical activity can help your kids in the most important game of all, life.
Walmart's reason for supporting Thurgood Marshall College Fund is simple. We like to win. And we have been given a lot of exposure to some incredible talent. And we also believe that it's a part of our responsibility to the community to give back. This is a great opportunity to do both. It's been a wonderful experience for us through the years. We've appreciated our partnership. We believe in return on investment, and we have definitely had a remarkable return.
Columbus's first New York-style buffalo wings restaurant. American Deli is not only known for the best buffalo wings in the area, they're also known for their fresh deli ingredients. Now you can enjoy the best New York-style buffalo wings in 2 locations. American Deli at 2004 Auburn Avenue, Columbus, Georgia, and American Wings and Deli at 2061 Highway 280 in Phoenix City. We're open Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., Friday and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday from noon to 8 p.m. American Deli, the best buffalo wings around.
Welcome back to Straightforward. I'm continuing my conversation with Sheriff John Darr and Chaplain Neil Richardson. So we are supporting every cancer. We want to make sure we can just win that battle, and you all have just head and shoulders above the rest. Awesome project. The word on the street, you have these fabulous vehicles. What's going on with that?
Well, what we wanted to do, of course, everybody knows October is, breast cancer awareness and things like that. And what we kind of wanted to do was want to take a different approach. And what we did is we had one of our vehicles striped out to basically show our support, the Muscogee County Sheriff's Office support for those in our community and the surrounding communities. Their fight against all cancers, not just breast cancer. That's right, just not breast cancer. Of course, that's important, but we wanted to show our support for all those that are out here fighting the cancer, or their family members dealing with cancer in whatever.
It's a mean disease.
Whatever it is, whatever whatever type of cancer they're dealing with, and it was a little bit unique for us, where how we went about striping that and the thought and the ideas behind that. And it is nothing but a small way for us, like I said, Ms. Gloria, to show our support as the Sheriff's Office for us, for those in our community.
Again, standing behind families, changing lives.
Well, that's it. I mean, like we've been talking today, and a lot of people contact the Sheriff's Office. It's back to kind of what I said at the beginning. Our focus is to do our part as a Sheriff's Office, be it at the office or be it at the jail, to show our involvement in this community in a number of different ways.
And you're not just about housing people, because as you said before, everybody at the jail is somebody's brother, father, sister, child.
Yeah, you've heard me say we preach that. They're going to come back out into our communities. They're going to be our neighbors. We're just trying to do our part to make them a better individual when they get out here, or show them somebody they connect with when they get out, or when they get out, to help them along the way so they don't come back. Because that's really all these programs. A lot of that, what we're doing is we want to see that recidivism rate keep going down, and it has. Like you heard Chaplain Richardson talk about some of these programs. It's just really phenomenal when you talk about the recidivism rate as low it is for some of the people that go through these programs. But we've been very fortunate that we have a lot of people in the Sheriff's Office that understand that is buying more into it. We're very fortunate that we got a lot of people in this community that's buying into it, and we're fortunate people like you to give us an opportunity as a media outlet to let people in the community know that what we're doing in the Sheriff's Office.
And you're doing more than housing people.
Yes, ma'am.
And I just think that's important, because you're doing that 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. But even in the middle of all of that, you're trying to change lives, help families, and help people to move forward. Now we've taken on this health initiative, and times, trying to help support those causes as well. So can I get one of those cards? It's only for staff. No, they're so cool. They really are.
But it's kind of like you said earlier, I think, in the show when we were talking about, and Chaplain and me, we've talked, you know, it really is about changing somebody's life. And if you can change somebody's life, then you potentially have the opportunity to change, affect that change of generation after generation of those people hopefully not coming back and making something different. And that's really what we're here for, one person at a time if we have to.
Yeah, each one reach one.
That's it.
Right. And so, Chaplain, you're doing so much at the jail. We have the Veterans Dorm, the Fatherhood Dorm, the GED. We have the Girl Scouts program.
Right.
We got some yoga activity to help manage the stress, which all of us could use that. You're just doing so much, the mental health side. What is it that the community can do to help support you all with what you do?
Keep John Darr sheriff, I'll tell you. That's my opinion.
All right.
You know, that should be number one.
Okay.
Because that's when it all started changing.
Okay.
And a commitment to community, a commitment to the employees, and a commitment to helping the inmates change their lives is characteristic of this administration. You know, but we need help in volunteering. We need people that are involved in scouting that want to be part of that Girl Scouts thing. We collect paperback books. We've got over 25,000 paperbacks that we use for a library for the inmates. So if somebody's got books that they could share with us. In this winter, people that might have been arrested last summer in a T-shirt and shorts are going to get out and they can't go out in the cold of January.
Right.
So if we can pick up sweatshirts and sweatpants and jackets and gloves and stocking hacks, and if we get extra sometimes, we'll make sure those get given to homeless people out on the streets to make sure they're safe.
Okay, so if someone wanted to donate something to for those that might be getting released, that might need a coat, where should they bring those?
Just bring it right to the jail.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
See, I learned something. Every time I talk to you all really have it going on. Really. I should be the publicist. Vince Perry was trying to find something for him to do, but I need to be the publicist. No, really, I didn't know that. I just thought when they got out, they just have to figure out and make their way. But you're even trying to help prepare them when it's time for them to leave. So if people have, like many of my friends and relatives, all of these extra clothes and things we're not using in good condition, then they can just bring them down to the jail and leave them at the front desk.
That's right.
And we want them clean. They don't have to be perfect, but clean. And leave those, as well as books. And we want good books.
That's right.
Right, something constructive that people can read, and that helps them to build their skills as well.
That's it.
All right. You all have so much going on. I support you 100%, and I thank you so much. I know you're tired. You're always working, for taking time to come out and just share some of the great things you all are doing in the community. I stand behind you 100%, and I want you to keep up the good work.
We appreciate it.
And we must have a celebration on the 100 GEDs.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a milestone. All right. Thank you so much. This has been straightforward. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Until next time, be blessed.